Hello, everybody. This is Tony Jones.
I'm the Reverend Russell, and this is the Hardest Question video blog for Passion Sunday.
slash Palm
Yeah,
slash Sixth Sunday of Lent.
That's right. And
The beginning of Holy Week.
there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot of text.
Yeah, you have your choice of reading, like 2 chapters or 14. It's really
Yeah. So we're just going to pick one thing to talk about. We thought we'd talk about Barabbas, and here's why it kind of jumps out to me. In the last couple of years, there's been kind of a sympathetic to Judas movement.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think Elaine Pagels maybe has
Yeah,
written some
sure.
stuff about that, and of course, there you get some of that in even like in Jesus Christ Superstar, right?
Yeah,
You
right,
get this
yeah.
like
I think-
Judas is kind of a sympathetic figure.
Well, and you can't forget the Last Temptation of Christ.
Where
Judas and Jesus are best friends.
best buddies, and
Yeah,
then they
right.
have this break, yeah.
Yeah.
And Barabbas is another, like, he becomes villainized, right?
Yeah, right.
But he doesn't really do anything.
No,
I mean,
he doesn't.
he's a bad guy. I know Kazantakis wrote a novel about Barabbas.
Really?
And he had a hair lip. I remember I read that.
That is just so strange because when I picture Barabbas in my mind, I picture him with a hair lip.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you and Kazantakis obviously are great minds think alike. And I read it when I was in junior high.
Really?
Yeah. So Barabbas plays an interesting part in this narrative, right? Like, we never meet him.
No, and he's not actively saying, "People, you should vote for me.
I'm innocent," or "Let me off."
No,
Yeah.
No, he doesn't do anything. It's Pilate that just assumes the people would not, would want Jesus over Barabbas.
Right. So I wonder what you could do preaching about this. You said something before we started recording that's interesting, that Barabbas is really, in some ways, the first person Jesus dies for.
Yeah, he really dies in Barabbas's place.
Yeah, and Barabbas gets basically shriven of his sin and released.
And released.
To have a do-over, he has
Right.
kind of a metanoia experience, right?
Yeah, right there.
And what's interesting, though, what's interesting in relation to a lot of the things we think about and the way that people evangelize other people is Barabbas doesn't make a conscious choice
No.
to follow Jesus.
No.
He doesn't give his life to Jesus. He doesn't even accept the forgiveness that
It's
that
like
Jesus offers.
Jesus,
He's just set free.
Jesus dies for his sins or whatever.
Yeah, and he has nothing to do with it.
He has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
He has no agency.
We don't even have any kind of report. And then he went on to be the founder of the church.
There are probably some myths
I'm sure
about
there
that.
must be. Yeah,
So-
I don't know my Catholic
there's
mythology very well,
yeah.
but still, it is like that. I mean, I think that is a beautiful thing to preach on coming to Easter, Passion
Yeah,
Sunday.
I like that.
Yeah. What does Barabbas do?
Nothing.
Nothing. He's kind of not even involved.
Right. He's very passive. He's a bystander to his own
Yeah,
salvation.
Right. Maybe he even learns of it later.
That's a sermon title.
Bystander to his own salvation. That's good.
Copyright. All right. Thanks.
Happy Passion Week.